When you reflect on your own experience of hospitality, are you typically the beneficiary, like Alicia in our first reading? Or are you the one receiving and welcoming guests and strangers? Kind of like the Shunammite woman. In her book, Untamed Hospitality, Elizabeth Newman suggests that hospitality is practiced most faithfully when roles easily reverse themselves, and we think of ourselves both as guests and hosts. So this theme of hospitality recurs throughout our sacred stories. Today's first reading from the second book of Kings is one that we hear once every 3 years, if we're listening. So don't be upset if you don't remember this unnamed woman from Shunem, right? Like, really? News to me. Yet she's referenced as a woman of influence. And even though she's married, she asserts her decision-making power and acts as the head of the household. Curious? Her title suggests wealth and independence of mind and faith. So for context, lest we forget, we're talking about the 9th century before the Common Era. So a long time ago. This was not typical. At least we've been taught this was not typical. Yet it's she who is the initiator in her relationship with Elisha. As the story goes, it's her who tells her husband, I know he's a prophet. In effect, she says, let's put a pop-up on the roof with a bed and a table and a chair and a lamp, so he has a place to stay when he's in the area. She extends hospitality to Elisha by offering food and shelter and is rewarded with an unexpected gift of life. So even if you've never heard of her before, I suspect you may know women like her. Perhaps you are a woman like her. This weekend in the US, as we prepare to celebrate Independence Day, let's acknowledge that, like this nameless woman, there are lots of independent thinkers who have used their creative minds and voices for thousands of years. So have you ever realized that the words hospitality and hospital and hospice all come from the same root word, meaning generous and caring and sustaining? The sentence we heard Joanne Regis proclaim, hospitality is the way we turn a prejudiced world around, one heart at a time, really resonated with me. Sure, but how do we do it? A few weeks ago, during our homily sharing, I think Tina referenced a Netflix series, Queer Eye. Anybody heard of it? Okay. Today I'm going to share how Queer Eye illustrates hospitality. Firstly, the Fab Five, who are the show's hosts, there's 5 of them: Anthony, Bobby, Karamo, Robert, and Tan, demonstrate warm and welcoming behavior towards the individuals that they're helping. Each episode profiles someone who has been nominated for a makeover. Let's not just think makeup, a full life makeover. So the team create a safe and inclusive environment, fostering a sense of acceptance and respect. Secondly, the emphasis is on making guests feel comfortable. The Fab Five often assist individuals in transforming their living spaces, and other facets of their lives, really to provide a welcoming atmosphere. Queer Eye also showcases the power of listening. The hosts take the time to hear people's stories, experiences, and aspirations, allowing them to connect at a deeper level. And this genuine interest and empathy contribute to the show's portrayal of hospitality. I have found myself moved to cry while watching, and often I watch at the gym while I'm on a treadmill. It makes me cry, but not the treadmill, the show. The Fab Five's expertise in grooming and fashion, cooking and culture not only helps individuals improve their appearance, but it also equips them with skills to be gracious hosts themselves. Going back to that question, right? Host, guest. They empower people to embrace their identities and share their unique stories and talents with others. So in summary, Queer Eye exemplifies hospitality by fostering inclusivity, by creating welcoming spaces, listening attentively, and empowering individuals to be hospitable in their own lives. Kind of like Jesus did. So today's homily was a bit of an experiment. My husband will tell you I suggested it as we drove down the Blue Route this morning. It was different than the homily I had originally prepared. And I want to shout out to Mary Ellen, a friend of mine whose hospitality I have benefited from. She has a lovely home in Avalon. And I was there last week as I was thinking about today's liturgy. And she suggested that I might ask Chat GPT for help. Anybody familiar with Chat GPT, right? It's a tool, it's AI. If you're in education, you might be concerned. This wasn't a term paper, this wasn't really an exercise, but what I did is I thought, well, I don't know, okay, I'm not familiar with it. Download the free version of the app, it's very easy. Typed in reflections on hospitality. Now, do you think I got this Queer Eye thing from that? No, right? So, and nothing really moved me from that first inquiry. So then, this morning, I got up and I thought, I'm going to try again. So I typed in how Queer Eye illustrates hospitality. And in a moment, I had a couple of paragraphs that I pretty much shared with you with some modification. My point is, sometimes it makes sense to ask for help. That's it. Have a great day.